A couple other things I learned in local news, patience, lots of patience. I'm a very, very impatient person. So I had to learn not to be patient with other people, but to be patient with myself, because I think a lot of times people come out of college and at least I did, thinking, oh, I'm the greatest. I can totally do this. I've got this. And then the moment you set foot in a newsroom, you quickly realize that you have a lot to learn. So I had to be patient with myself and realize that I do have a lot to learn. I can learn this. Just take it slow and make sure you get it right. So that was one thing I learned. Find a mentor. I don't know if any of you have been lucky enough to find a good mentor in the business yet, but find a mentor. You'll be glad you did. The mentor I had, Mark Ellinger, he was the station owner at WYYZ, the radio station that I got my broadcasting start at. He used to be, in a former life, he was executive producer at PBF in West Palm Beach. He was also news director there in West Palm Beach. And he was also news director at a couple of stations in Orlando and Miami. Decided he was going to get out of TV news and buy his own radio station in the North Georgia mountains, and by golly, he did. And he had all of his Emmy Awards sitting in his office at our radio station, and he would tell me horror stories about being in local news, and I think that just kind of made me want to give it a shot myself. It just kind of motivated me even more. But he was a great mentor, gave me some great advice, and put me in contact with the right people. And that kind of brings me to the next thing that I want to tell you: network, network, network. It's not just about what you know and what you learn at college. More importantly, I think it's who you know. This business, you may meet someone and say to yourself, I'm never going to see this person again. There's no way I'm going to run into this person again. And then you go on a job interview, and it's one of the hiring managers. This business, the country's big. We have a lot of television stations in this country. However, it's a small world. And television and print and social media, wherever you go. Excuse me. So whatever chances you can get to network and meet people, learn their names, learn their faces, make sure they learn your name, make sure they learn your face, keep in contact with them. And like you said, between the mentors and networking, you'll find that you will make the contacts that you need to actually get your foot in the door somewhere, because this business is a very, very, very competitive business. For every job opening, there are at least 100 applicants. And your resume is in the stack with 100 other people. So if you know someone at the station or know someone who knows someone at the station, your name can be tossed around and they'll pull your resume out of the stack. So you're more likely in that sense to get a call back than someone who doesn't have as many contacts. That's a big tip. Always know that. Always keep climbing. That's one of the things I wanted to encourage you to do. Don't settle in a small market just because you're comfortable there and you're kind of scared to branch out and go to a larger market. I know several people who I went to college with who went to small market and stayed there and have never moved and are miserable because they feel like their career hasn't, kind of taken off. There's nothing wrong with working in small markets. Small markets are wonderful. They're a great training ground. Some people make their careers in small markets, but don't be afraid to test the waters and actually see what's out there. And it may require moving to another state. It may require moving to Atlanta. You never know. But don't be afraid to give it a try. Just kind of go for it. always try to improve. I think actually just kind of I was listening to a lady speak at CNN. We have a circle mentoring group at CNN, and I was listening to a lady speak about constantly reinventing yourself within your company. And what she meant by that, and it's so true, is that you have to make yourself stand out and stand up above everyone else. If there are 5 reporters in your newsroom and you're one of those 5, there better be something that you can do that those other 4 cannot. Whether it be going to the social media producer in your spare time or on your day off. Yes, you do have to do a lot of things on your day off if you kind of want to get ahead. Going to the social media producer, sitting down with them, figuring out, learning how to post your own story on your station's website instead of having someone else do it for you. Whether it be sitting with an assignment desk editor one day and learning their job, learning how they find their contacts to call to find out details on breaking news stories. Sit with a producer. If you're a reporter, sit with a producer. That way you know what goes into a producer's job every day. So when a producer calls you and tells you, your package cannot be 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It has to be 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And you're thinking, but I'm the storyteller. This is how I'm telling my story. This is my story. You can't just chop off 25 seconds of my story. Well, you'll understand then why the producer is telling you that. So that's what I'm saying. Reinvent yourself. Make yourself disposable, basically. Your bosses will appreciate the fact that that you can do multiple things instead of just your one solitary job as well. When you're first starting out trying to get your resume taped together, another reason a small market is really good, even medium-sized markets are really good, is because you can, on your own time, go out with a photographer and a reporter who are going on assignment. I did this a lot in my first job in South Carolina. You go out on your own time, photographer, reporter, they're out on assignment. The photographer will shoot a stand-up for you. Have them shoot a stand-up or 2. Then you go back to the station and you write your own script with the video and your stand-up and the interviews that the other reporter has done. You just kind of piece together your own story to make your own package. Take advantage of the resources that you have. People are willing to work with you and help you grow because someone has paved the way for them in the past. So I found that in local news, people are really willing to help people who are just kind of getting their feet wet in the business and trying to make a name for themselves and trying to stand out and trying to make a tape. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to just kind of go out there and do it. Granted, you have to do it on your own time sometimes, but that's okay. Oops, I lost the picture for a second. I think you're back. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see you, Victoria.
You're drinking tea.
Okay. Always know that when it comes to being a journalist, it's always a competition. You have to always be thinking and planning 5 steps ahead of your competitor. Always. Otherwise, you'll get beat. You get beat, you get replaced. So always think of it as you're competing against the producers, the reporters, the writers, the editors, the photographers of the other station or of the other newspaper, the other magazine, whatever field you choose to go in. One great piece of advice that my mentor gave me, the first piece of advice, is if you're going to be a journalist, you have to be a duck. That's right, you have to be a duck. That means cool and calm on the top, but paddling like hell underneath. And also, you have to be a duck in the sense that you have to let everything just roll off your back, like water on a duck's back. You have to let it roll off your back. You cannot take things personal. You cannot get your feelings hurt. You have to be strong. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. And even when you are scared out of your mind, feel like you don't know what you're doing, keep your game face on. You have to have your game seem like you are in control of the situation at all times. Be a duck and you'll do fine. Never lose your cool. For any of you who are considering being a producer, the biggest no-no is losing your cool, especially in the control room during breaking news when everything's crashing and you have technical mistakes going on the air and the anchor isn't reading the script that you want him to read and we're not rolling the right video and you've got 5 people yelling at you. You cannot lose your cool. Again, you have to be in control of the situation at all times, even when you don't think you are. Triple check it, double check it, and then triple check it again. Always, always, always verify facts. You guys know that. You've learned this. The last thing you want is for your shop to get sued. And if you don't know, ask. Even if you're afraid that someone's going to think less of you for not knowing, it's better to ask than to have something go on the air that's not factual. Again, all these things I learned in local news, and I'm so glad, again, that I got my feet wet in local news so that I could learn that and so that I could have the confidence knowing that I have a good foundation before I actually went into international news with CNN. Just one other point, and then we can open it up to questions if you want. Just real quick, be kind to those in the business who are new. Once you've gotten established in your career, be kind to those. Again, someone paved the way for you. Hopefully you guys will get a great mentor, someone who will teach you the ropes. So return the favor. It's being a journalist is like one huge family. Everybody looks out for everybody else. Granted, we may be competitors, but even when I was in Dallas-Fort Worth, all the reporters and producers from all the competing stations, we hung out, you know? I mean, everybody's friends and everybody kind of takes care of everybody else. So be kind to those who come after you and return the favor of being a mentor. And that's really the only points that I had. I would love to hear your questions, though. Fire away.
Okay, who wants to go first? Come up here and so Victoria can see who's asking or something whenever anybody wants to ask or something. All right, somebody start us off. Come on, Virginia.
I'm really bad at thinking of questions on the spot, so probably not me first.
Okay, not you first.
I had a question, how big is the international operation at CNN? At the scope and the scale of it.
CNN International is we have a large newsroom that's currently under construction right now. We're getting a brand new multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art newsroom at our world headquarters here in Atlanta. We have probably 300 people in our newsroom just in Atlanta. We have a little over 200 bureaus, CNN International bureaus around the world in different countries. We employ about 3,000 people. CNN International does. So we're a big shop. On a daily basis, I get to talk to and work with my field producers and reporters at CNN Beirut, at CNN Baghdad, CNN Johannesburg, Moscow, Beijing, you name it, I probably work with them on a daily basis. So it's fun. It's kind of cool to work with so many crews around the world. But we are a big shop. We're a big operation, and sometimes it's hard to be straight who everybody is and where they are. So if you guys are ever in Atlanta, please look me up and for a CNN International.
Okay, we got another question coming down here.
Okay.
Hi. I was wondering if you had ever experienced having to be like a backpack journalist in small market.
If I what now? Repeat it one more time.
If you ever had to experience being like a backpack journalist, having to do like kind of everything yourself, like the shooting and editing and writing and all of it, in small market especially.
Yes. When I moved to Dallas and took the job as an anchor / reporter at KXII in Sherman, that's exactly what I did. I lugged around the heavy equipment by myself. I shot my own video, shot my own interviews. I would go back to the station. I would edit my own stuff, write my own packages, edit them. Then I would go back out in the field. I would set up my own live shot in the live truck. I even got creative on how to add movement to my live shot so I just wasn't standing still in one place. I would tie a shoestring to the handle of the camera. So when I moved, I pulled the camera along with me to make it look like, you know, I had a photographer or whatever. Yeah, I ended up with several pinched nerves in my shoulder from the big heavy camera, of course, and carrying the tripod. And yeah, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. I learned a lot though, you know, I mean, like I said, I got to put my editing and writing skills and camera skills that I learned in college. I got to put all those to test and try them out.
Okay, cool. We have another question coming up.
All right, so how many years of scrub work or low-paid work did you work until you got the job you have now? And do you still want to keep climbing with your job?
Go ahead.
And do you still want to keep climbing with your job? Do you want like a better job?
Okay, how many years did I? Well, I've been in the business since, gosh, let me think. I've been in the business a little over 15 years, and I've only been with CNN International for 3.5. So even in Dallas-Fort Worth, mind you, which is Market 5, I wasn't making great money. My husband was a producer there also, so I think between the two of us, it was okay money, but it wasn't great. I think our shop might have been a little underpaid compared to other shops maybe in the market. I'm not quite sure about that, but I didn't feel like it was enough for what our producers were required to do and responsible for on a daily basis. So I think I would probably count Dallas-Fort Worth as not being great money. So I probably about 13 years, 14 years, I was not paid very well, especially the first 3 was really bad. Yeah, the first 3 years were terrible. When I was anchoring, mind you, anchoring at KXII in Sherman, Market 2, whatever it was, I was making $18,000 a year. $18,000. And I was the anchor for the 5, 6, and 11 p.m. newscasts. I was the primetime anchor, making $18,000 a year. That was a while back, so I would hope that they pay more now, especially for primetime anchors. I'm not sure how much more it would be, but surely they've got to pay more than that. Either that or I was just a really naive, stupid college kid who was just eager to take her first anchoring job, and they knew it, and they just gave me whatever you know they thought they could get away with, which was probably the case. I still want to continue to climb and grow, even though I'm at CNN International now? Yeah, of course I do. It's I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to being a journalist, especially an international journalist. I remember when the war in Iraq started. I was in local news, KTVT, and they were getting ready to send crews into Baghdad. This was like a couple of days after the shock and awe in Baghdad, and I so wanted to go so bad. I didn't have a passport at the time. It wasn't going to be feasible. But, you know, if that happened now and I had the opportunity to, say, like, go into Syria or something, I probably wouldn't do it. I have a family now. I have 2 small children and a husband, and so that aspect of climbing in my career, not so much. But like I was talking about earlier, like reinventing yourself and finding new ways to excel in your current job, but make yourself stand out. I've been doing a little bit of that over the past a couple of years, where we have a program with CNN International where we invite all of our affiliates around the world. We have affiliate news stations in every country in the world. So we invite our affiliates 3 times a year from various stations to CNN for 4 weeks. It's called the CNN Journalism Fellowship, and they get to see and experience how CNN does it. And so I work with those groups 3 times a year when they come in, and I'm the ambassador for CNN International for our international affiliates. And I basically show them how CNN International does it. Like a day in the life of CNNI, how we produce a show, the challenges we face on a daily basis, what we go through to get the news on the air, logistics out in the field in some remote country in Africa. You know, it's so they get to kind of experience it firsthand, and hopefully they learn some stuff from me that they get to take back to their respective countries and implement at their stations too. So yeah, I'm constantly trying to find ways to reinvent myself and to make myself better, and to give myself new challenges, because I think you can kind of get settled into the same role every day, in the same form every day, and you get bored and you can get tired and burn out on it. So I think as long as you find new challenges for yourself, you have to make those new challenges for yourself. You know, your boss isn't just going to hand them to you. I think as long as you make new challenges for yourself, then yeah, why not? Why not continue to climb?
Cool. Hey, I just was going to ask you real quick to talk about how social media is a part of what you do there at CNN International now.
Yes, thank you. I was going to talk about that earlier. Okay, so granted, some countries harder than others to either hire a stringer. A stringer is like a freelancer, a freelance journalist we find on the ground in some country, and pay them money to go shoot us video and send it back to us. Sometimes it's really hard to find somebody like that. Remote Africa, for instance. So Syria, definitely. 99% of our video and elements that come out of Syria are YouTube. And we use a lot of YouTube video when it comes to stuff like that, but it goes through a very, very heavy screening process before we ever put something on the air. We have our international desk. We have a domestic assignment desk, which is the CNN that you see here in the U.S. That's called CNN Domestic. They have their own assignment desk. And then CNN International, we have our own assignment desk. It's called the International Assignment Desk. And they have people who are assignment editors on our international desk from all around the world. Multiple languages these people speak. I mean, they just amaze me. Awesome journalists. And they translate videos. They listen to the YouTube videos and listen to what, like, the cameraman is saying, or they listen to what people are screaming in the background during an explosion. And from what these people are saying, they can figure out the date. They can figure out a lot of times the exact location this video was shot. From hearing the dialect, the different dialects in the Arabic that they're speaking, they can figure out, you know, what section of a town they live in. I mean, these people are amazing, and it goes through a heavy screening process. But and like I said earlier with Haiti, our only video for the first, 3 days before we could get our crew into Haiti, the first 3 days was nothing but social media. It was everything that was coming off of Twitter, everything coming off of YouTube. We would Skype with people. We would, you know, of course, phone calls to people. We would, what we call beeper. We call them beepers. Local news, we call them phoners. Yeah, social media plays heavily into what we do, especially on an international level. we have a feature for CNN called iReport. I don't know if any of you have heard about CNN iReport. Anybody in the world can be one of our iReporters. If you see news happening or see a cool, interesting, something cool and interesting that you think would make a good story for us, you can take pictures, you can take video, you can edit it, and then upload it to CNN.com on our iReport page. And then we actually use those on TV. So yeah, social media is heavy in what we do.
And one last quick question here, unless anybody wants to jump up. But we have several people that are interested in doing internships. They have a couple years before they graduate. Is there any program that they could work with CNN possibly to get an internship? Or
oh my gosh,
what should they do?
Yes. Go to turnerjobs.com. That's TURNER jobs.com. And you'll see, you'll probably have to scroll through several pages, but you'll see summer internship. We post our summer internships as if they were job vacancies. We have a certain amount of internships, and you can apply for an internship with the Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer and do your internship out of DC. You can apply for an internship with AC360 and do your internship with Anderson Cooper out in New York. You can do an internship with CNN International in Atlanta. I mean, we have a plethora of summer internships, but you have to go online. You have to apply for them, the specific area that you want to do your internship in. And then once you do that, then you let me know so that I can tell the recruiter to pull your resume. Again, who you know. Yeah, let me, or if you know someone else at CNN, let them know that, hey, I've just applied for this internship, and tell them the specific one you've applied for, and all I have to do is pick up the phone and call the recruiter and kind of flag your application to them. So yeah, we have a great internship program. I encourage all of you to apply.
Cool. Anybody have any other questions? Okay, thank you. Oh, wait. Oh, Virginia, last
Sorry,
second.
I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
Okay, I have to ask, did you ever have to do weather? Did you ever have to do weather? Like, and how was
I'm sorry,
oh, okay.
it's breaking up just a little bit.
Virginia is our student weather forecaster, and she wants to know if you ever did weather.
Hello. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, if I've ever done weather. No, I haven't. In a way, I think the weather people have the toughest job because you don't have a prompter. Everything's ad-libbed and off the cuff. And we actually use our weather people as part of major news stories, especially when we're covering earthquakes or tsunamis or volcanoes or anything of that genre. We use our weather people pretty much as a reporter. If when Haiti happened, we didn't have reporters on the ground right away. We didn't have people we could talk to right away. So to sustain our coverage, our live breaking news rolling coverage, we used our weather people with maps and detailed areas and magnitudes and what exactly happened. And so yeah, lots of geology and geography and stuff like that kind of goes into it too. But yeah, sometimes we throw them on the air when we in the control room have nothing else to go to. So I think they have the toughest job because everything's off the cuff and ad-libbed for weather people. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Victoria. We appreciate it. Thank you for staying up with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, have a good night.
Absolutely.
Tell Chris I said hi to.
I will. Good to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. Bye.